When I read a passage of the Bible and I interpret it literally in reference to the natural world, I think this counts as a scientific conclusion which should be taught in science classes. Isn't it true that there has never been an error when the Bible has been interpreted literally with reference to the natural world?
Is the earth flat? Even though one might get that impression in some parts of the world, such as driving across Kansas, we know from our travels around our globe, from pictures from space, that our planet is a sphere. The ancients did not know this, however, and they were unable to travel its circumference, and so they legitimately wondered, is the earth flat? Many remember that in the Bible there are passages which refer to the ends of the earth. There are many such passages. These can sometimes be translated as the borders of the earth or from one end of the earth to the other. And some felt this was a sign from the creator of the earth regarding its shape and that it was flat with literal ends. Some reflected on Matthew chapter 4, where Satan supposedly takes Jesus to the top of a mountain from whence he can see all of the kingdoms of the world. This is only possible if the earth is flat, because otherwise on a spherical earth, one could not see all of the kingdoms from the top of one single mountain. Some were confused by Isaiah chapter 40, verse 22, where there's a reference to the globe of the earth in the Vulgate, the Catholic translation, and the circle of the earth, which could be a flat circle in the King James Version. There are other passages in Isaiah which refer to the ends of the earth, and so even within Isaiah, there seems to be multiple divergent references which may vary with the translation one is using. Philo, the Jewish philosopher from the first century, argued that the earth was fixed and one could even assign its left and right sides, and that the sphere of stars were fixed above this and literally attached to the ends of the earth. A variety of theologians seem to interpret these passages as if the earth was a flat disk that had literal ends. Many philosophers were vehement that people could not be inhabiting the part of the world opposite where we are currently standing. They called them the antipodians or the antipodes, those whose feet would be facing upwards. And so many felt that such a suggestion that the earth would be a sphere and people would be living on the opposite side of it, that this was an idea to be rejected. The belief that the earth was a flat disk persisted long after the earth had been circumnavigated. In fact, in the 1800s, there were zetetic societies or flat earth societies with books published claiming that the earth was not a globe. Flat earth societies continued even into the 20th and even 21st centuries, with flat earth societies publishing books and pamphlets and ultimately having websites all claiming that the literal interpretation of biblical passages insisted that the earth was not a globe. One flat earther lost a wager to Alfred Wallace, who is the co-founder of the theory of evolution along with Charles Darwin. And this flat earther then threatened the wife of Wallace with Wallace's death. Among the Greeks, not only were there philosophers who held that the earth was actually a sphere, but some used math and logic to estimate its circumference and actually came to values a third or a quarter of the actual circumference of the Earth. Many modern creationists, instead of relying on scientific evidence, use literal interpretations of biblical passages and claim that they have understood scientific truths about how the world works. In reference to the shape of the earth, those in the past who did the same not only did not arrive at the correct answer of the shape of the earth, but some persisted in erroneous ideas of a flat earth centuries after the earth was proven to be a sphere.